Peace, peace, family. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Minister Alif. And I just had an interesting conversation or debate with AI, ChatGPT. You know, it was respectful, it wasn't personal. I just wanted to see exactly what AI was thinking, and AI was picking my brain to see what I was thinking. So we just, bouncing off each other here. So today we're going to look at intelligence versus artificial intelligence, and why I personally believe that humans are superior to any robot, to any futuristic technology. A lot of people look at it like robots, AI, technology is going to take over the world. They already took over the world, but humans will always be humans. I mean, meaning that, you have a cause and then you have the effect. That's an ancient law amongst the ancestors around the world, like places in what we know today as the Kabbalion, for example. It teaches that the universe operates off of cause and effect. You just simply cannot have an effect without a cause. Meaning that AI, your car, your robots, your rockets that go to other planets, the rover that went to Mars, all of those are effects of some man, woman, child, or human being that conceived the idea, that thought about it. Like when I was growing up, I used to watch the cartoon, the Flintstones, for example. Now, I was amazed how creative Fred and Wilma and Bam Bam and them was. Like they would use, a round stone to make a wheel, and they would use their feet and run with the car, and they would use animals. Like they would use the tusk of a elephant as a vacuum cleaner or something. And it was fun. It wasn't factual, nor was it intended to be factual, but it was showing the creative spirit of human beings. And then a few years later, I seen another cartoon called The Jetsons. Unlike the Stone Age of the Flintstones with Fred and Wilma and Barney Rubble and all of them, and Betty, in this cartoon, they had human beings. Before they came out, they had microwave ovens. They had flying vehicles. Human beings like, George and, they just was on a whole nother plateau of human ingenuity. The creative idea, human intelligence, showing that human beings that was working with stones and, during the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, if you will, and then we're in the Steel Age, human beings always seem to improve on things. Now, the messenger teaches us, and I quote him, he said, and Al Sayers arrived in 1974, naturally we can improve on the thing once we have a make or model for it. That's a deep principle. He said, naturally we can improve on a thing once we have a make or model for it. Think about that. Picture Henry Ford's famous Model T car. Imagine your great-great-grandfather, depending on your age, going outside and getting in the car, and he got to go in the front and he got to crank it up. He cranking the car so the car can move. Imagine, I remember my dad used to have to go out in the wintertime and warm the car up and things of that nature there. You had to put the key in the door to lock and unlock the car door. Imagine in this day and time, we don't think, right? We just go outside, push the button on the keychain and the door open up. Now, I mean, you could literally talk to the car. A car could park itself. You got electric cars. In China, they got flying cars. I mean, the things that I used to see in the Jetsons seem corny in 2025 because that's the way human brains operate. Meaning, like, I'm talking to you right now through what is this? This is a MacBook Pro. This MacBook Pro would be considered ancient, corny technology 100, 1,000, 10,000 years in the future. We'll just use our pineal gland and just mentally talk, open up and see each other and just be able to talk, communicate. Like, they didn't know this 10,000 years ago. They thought human beings needed physical machines back then. Now, I mean, it's like we're in a world where things are changing. So as we change, the world around us is going to change. If our thoughts go the opposite way, things are going to go the opposite way. Now, I mean, so right now, a lot of people is looking at it like, oh, AI, the robots, the technology is getting so sophisticated, they're going to take over the world. And I understand what they mean. And I don't want you to think that I'm saying that 10, 100, or 1,000 years in the future, technology will not be faster, more efficient, smarter than the human brain. That's how we always move. That's I mean, I remember as a child, when I used my calculator, I was not offended that the calculator could calculate quicker than me. I expected it to calculate quicker than me because I knew in the subconsciousness of my brain that some man or some woman or some child invented a calculator. In Japan, they invented the transistor. Some human being figured out like, yo, I could take a grain of sand and heat it up, polish it up, sterilize it, and make this grain of sand, this crystal, become a transistor inside of an iPhone. I mean, somebody came up with the idea to put all these apps inside this phone. All right, and it's like this technology came out of the thoughts of a human being. But when I use the technology, it's not offensive to me that Chat GPT is smarter than me, knows more than me. It should know more than it's one of the things you learn in computer school. I remember when I went to computer classes, the teacher taught us. He said, information. Let me get it the way he said it. This was like 40 years ago. He explained to us, data does not become information until it is processed. He said without a processor, the binary code or computer language or C+ language, it's like 0111000. You would never understand that. I mean, forensic scientists could not read DNA until some Jamaican sister came up with the idea, yo, in Jamaica, we got all these flowers and this, won't you put some dye in there? And she was the one that came up with the color scheme. And they was like, oh, we got the DNA right here. You know how easy it is to extract it. You could personally, in your house, you can extract DNA using dishwashing detergent. You can use some fruit and you can extract the DNA out of some fruit. You know what I mean? So that's a real science. But you can't see it. You can't read it. You wouldn't understand it. But what she did with her human brain was like, oh, let's make it color bands so that we can read the color code, and that way we can read the DNA sequence. So now today a computer can read the DNA codes and extract the mathematics from DNA or RNA or the messenger codes, if you will. Know what I mean? So human beings are not supposed to be superior than technology in a physical sense. I don't expect to go to the racetrack and say, "Oh, I'm a human being. Put me next to the race car. I'm going to run faster than this race car." I have to mathematically deduct that some genius came up with the mechanics to extract metals out of rocks and build an engine that is so mathematically efficient that it will outpace me easily. Like a race car going to move fast. I can't catch up with a race car. I can't even deal with horsepower. I can't run faster than a horse. I'm not stronger than a bear just because I'm a human being. I can't swim faster than a dolphin just because I can't fly like an eagle. But human beings, the human brain, the mind of man and women, the mind of men and women can produce a speedboat or a submarine or a torpedo that will go through the water and make fish look like they can't swim. Human beings will produce they can look at a turtle and they can produce a tank. They can look at a well, but humans can make a submarine. They can look at the birds, but they can make a jet, an airplane, a helicopter, a rocket that can go outside the Earth's atmosphere and go to Mars if they wanted to. The mind of man is infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that the brain can conceive. There is nothing in creation superior to the Creator. So this is a science, family. Let's get into it. Let's look at the difference between that which is created and that which is made. You see here, a guy's sitting in front of a beautiful log cabin, absolutely stunning, mathematically aesthetic, you know what I mean? And this is what human beings do. You know, we take that which is created and we use it to our services. We use it as a tool or a resource, and we extract the things of the earth to make whatever we want to make. Anything you can imagine, you can do. You know, if we wanted to, like if you look at those mountains in the background, the average human beings are trying to figure out, can we climb the mountain? I mean, can we go to the peak of Mount Everest at 29,141 feet high? But other people look at the mountain and be like, can we remove the mountain? I mean, what is a mountain? How did that mountain get there? You see? And eventually somebody will take and go to that mountain and they'll pick up a rock and they'll look at it and they'll notice how heavy it is. And I mean, they'll study it and, you know, they notice how the mountain don't move, how the mountain been there before they was born. And, you know, that mountain was there after they died and their parents died. Their parents died. The mountain is still there. Until eventually a baby is born and look at it and be like, what is the essence of this mountain? And eventually some human being will conceive the idea of, wait a minute, I remember back in the day, it was a lightning hit the mountain and it was a fire. It put the trees on fire. I remember back in the day, it was a heat wave and it was a drought and the trees caught on fire. When the trees burnt up, I remember going up there as a little child and looking around, there was burnt up ashes and, you know, and I noticed like, wow, for some reason, the spiders immediately came right back and spun their webs. Before the fire, certain animals knew that there was going to be an earthquake. Certain animals knew it was going to be a heat wave or a flood or a mudslide or what have you, an earthquake, and they left. They abandoned their positions and they moved, But humans wasn't that smart. I mean, see, we the type, it take us. We learn from our mistakes, and we make countless mistakes, family. That's the learning curve. I mean, but eventually somebody will take one of them rocks and realize, like, yo, you notice when this rock was in the fire for a long time, look at all these shiny things that's on the surface of the rock. Like the heat drew out these types of minerals. And then eventually somebody will take and figure out, oh, we could take rocks, heat them up and extract iron ore or aluminum or tin or copper out of these rocks and use that for our services, you see? And this guy, he figured out, yo, I could take these trees, cut them down, and build me a shelter. That's what we do anywhere on the planet. You put us in any environment. If you was to put a human being in the desert, they'd be like, yo, the camel died of dehydration and the bones, all the flesh is gone, it dried out. But I noticed the bones is still there. I noticed that the skin is still there. Interesting. And they eventually take those bones and structure those bones together, tie them up with pieces of the skin or leather, and they'll build a tent and be like, yo, I could chill out in the hot Arabian desert inside these tents. I could build shelters out in the desert. You see? People be like, I could take these mud bricks and, living along this river, the Nile River, living along the Tigris River in ancient Babylon or Iraq, I could take these mud bricks and I could take the wooden frames and make me a ladder and put the bricks inside the ladder and smooth it out and let it dry out in this hot sun. And I could make mud bricks and build a house. Dang, I built a house, but my neighbor built a house. The sister built the house. They built the house. Everybody built their houses. They getting sophisticated with the house. So-and-so made a 2-story house. Yo, did this fool just make a 3-story house? Did he just build the Tower of Babel? Did they just make a castle? Oh, he got flowers. He put the decorations on it. To eventually you have a city. You have a city-state. You have a nation. This is how civilizations are formed. And eventually somebody will take and say, well, look, I'm out here in the prairie lands. We don't have no bunch of water out here, but we got a whole bunch of tall grass. But I noticed if I rip this grass down, this grass is so sturdy, it lasts for like 10, 50, 100 years. I could build me a straw hut. I could make a house out of straw. Somebody be like, yo, it's freezing out here. The newbie like, yo, it's nothing but cold Arctic air and all the snow and ice is freezing. Then somebody be like, yo, just like we made the bricks out of mud, just like we made the steel, just like we made the copper and the wood, we could make us some snow blocks. And they make them a little wall, a little shelter from the wind out of bricks of snow. And then somebody else be like, yo, I'm going to make a big wall. And they be like, Dad, this joint is nice and warm. How did you build this joint? Then somebody else come along and be like, Dad, your joint is corny. Like, I'm going to make a bed. Then somebody else be like, yo, when you built it like that, the wind still blow the other way, so we still get cold. How about we build 2 walls? Somebody, let's build 4. Somebody else come on, oh, let's build a roof. Somebody, oh, the roof always collapse on. Let's make it concave. Let's make let's make an igloo. Next thing you know, you see people living in the snow, and they nice and warm. They got polar bear skin on. They using well oil to light up that little house. They like, man, it's like 60 degrees up in this joint. It ain't cold in here. I can take my coat off up in this joint, because human beings are created as the creators of all of creation. That's our role, family. But human beings have other aspects. We're kind of vain. We're kind of greedy. We're kind of selfish. The first law of nature is self-preservation. So we like, it's not enough food for everybody, so we're going to have to go to war with the people next door so that we make sure we get the fish. All that salmon, they catching all the salmon, and they smoking the salmon, and them jokers over there grubbing, and we over here starving, and they ain't even breaking us off. We're going to take that fish. Now you got crime jumping off. This is what human beings do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if we was to take and act in accord with our nature, we would understand, like, yo, let's, like, he was out hunting and, he fell off the cliff and broke his leg. He can't hunt no more. So we need to take care of him. We need some type of social programs. We need, like the neighbor, her and her husband was a good family. We liked them, you know what I mean? But sad to say, the husband got sick and he died. You know what I mean? Now she can't take care of her children. But my husband got 2 children, but what he does is when he hunts, he do some extra hunting to make sure that she can eat and her children can eat. He's not married to her. He's not obligated to her. He's not trying to have sex with her, but just out of human concern, he's looking out for her. So human beings could be extremely nice or extremely bad, family. We can be God or we can be the devil. But it's never personal, because the very atoms of creation is structured like that. When we look at this earth, when we look at the ocean and we see these fish, we be like, oh, look at the beautiful trout. They swimming, and look at this. Oh, that's nice. But then we see a piranha school come flying by and they kill a trout. We see these beautiful salmons jumping up, like, oh, look at them. Oh, they migrating up. Oh, they taking a hard route. Oh, that's beautiful. But then we see this grizzly bear come snatch a salmon out the water and just rip its head off and eat it. You're like, yo, whoa, slow down. Why you do that? You just killed the little salmon fish. I mean, we see the little cute bunny rabbit. He hopping around. He looking all cute in the mountains. Then we see this eagle or this hawk or this owl come down and scoop up the mouse, scoop up the rabbit, and just physically just kill it and just rip it apart. And be like, yo, did you just see that? Did you see the snake just swallow that mouse? Did you see that snake eat that frog? I mean, so under the earth, on the earth, above the earth, it's just something about nature that tells us everybody ain't going to be singing Kumbaya, family. It's just not. There's a unique and profound difference between natural intelligence and artificial intelligence. As stated earlier, I'm not trying to say that artificial intelligence has not and cannot and will not outpace the physical brain. You know what I mean? As stated, mechanics always outpaces biology. I mean, but at the same time, there's a cause and there's an effect. You don't just get the log cabin in a vacuum, That log cabin is made, but the trees are created. The essence of that tree goes back to the actual carbon atom. So naturally, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us we can improve on a thing once we have a make or a model for it. I mean, like if your great grandfather built a pyramid and it was, a step pyramid, you're going to try to make a smoother one, a bigger one, a more refined one, higher quality one, you see? And your son's son or daughter's daughter or the future should improve on that and make a perfected pyramid. It's the same thing with, say, a television. You may start out seeing film and you be like, wow, they got moving animation on film, but there's no sound. Somebody else comes along, they be like, oh, I could add audio to the video. So now you got a movie. Somebody else come along looking and be like, oh, back in the day they had movies, but I think I could add color to the movies, you see? Until eventually you get high definition, like right now we got 8K. I mean, but those are natural progressions in the human mathematics. When you go to school and in elementary class and middle school, back in the day, we didn't have middle school. We had what they call junior high. When I was in elementary school and junior high school, one of the things the teacher used to grade us on was not just reading and writing. A lot of the students could read real good. A lot of them could write real good. I knew this girl in my class, she had like the best handwriting I ever seen in my life. Her penmanship was superb. But she failed in comprehension. That what she read and that what she wrote indicated that her reading skills was an A. Her writing skills were an A, but her comprehension skills were D minus. There are many people that know mathematics, but there are few people that know applied mathematics. There's a difference. So, as I stated before, I remember going to school for computers and the computer teacher was explaining to us that data does not become information until it is processed. So when I looked at Elon Musk and his board and, the inventors of ChatGPT, I personally was impressed. I was personally inspired. Like, okay, this is some powerful stuff they doing here. You know what I mean? And the first chance I got, I was like, okay, let me learn about this new science, this new technology, this new AI, artificial intelligence. And personally, honestly, humbly speaking, I was extremely disappointed. The new DeepSeek Chinese AI came out. And I was like, I just downloaded it within the last 24 hours. And they told me there was a problem. Let me see if I can find that on my phone. In fact, hold on. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. This is what they sent me last night. Because I couldn't even, they sent me a code. They give you, when you sign up, and they give you a code number and some kind of way the code number wouldn't work. And I was like, what's going on here? And yeah, this is January the 28th, 2025. Well, technically, it was early this morning. I mean, I was up like 3 o'clock or something like that. But it was like, hi, what can we help with? I said, can I sign up? And they explained to me, this is a quote. You can see it on, they told me, due to large-scale malicious attacks on DeepSeek services, we are temporarily limiting registrations to ensure continued service. Existing users can log in as usual. Thanks for your understanding and support. And after a little wrestling, I explained to them, the problem is, quote, the code number is not coming through. You know what I mean? So I had to play around with it. Then I thought outside the box and I just went to a whole totally different server and I was able to download it. So I now have, let me type this in. On my phone, I now have, hi, I'm DeepSeek. I had a DeepSeek app on my phone. So, my first question to DeepSeek was, who is Master Fard Muhammad? And DeepSeek explained to me, Master Fard Muhammad, also known as Wallace Fard Muhammad, is a central figure in the history of the Nation of Islam, NOI. He emerged in Detroit, Michigan in the early 1930s and is regarded by the NOI as the founder of the movement. Master Fard Muhammad taught a unique blend of Islamic principles, Black nationalism, and self-empowerment, which resonated deeply with African Americans during the Great Depression. He is believed to have arrived in Detroit in 1930 and began teaching among the African American community, emphasizing themes of racial pride, economic independence, and spiritual awakening. His teachings laid the foundation for the Nation of Islam. And he appointed Elijah Muhammad, born Elijah Poole, as his chief minister and successor. Master Fard Muhammad mysteriously disappeared in 1934, and his origins and fate remain subjects of speculation and debate. The NOI considers him to be the Mahdi, a prophesied redeemer in Islam, and even God in human form. Though these beliefs are not accepted by mainstream Islamic traditions, his legacy continues to influence the Nation of Islam and related movements. Now, this is like a basic textbook, encyclopedia type John, where if I was to ask someone in the nation who is Master Muhammad, they wouldn't give me this kind of answer. Like people that know wouldn't even talk like this. Like, Malcolm X, it's like Malcolm X talking about we're Negroes. He'd be like so-called Negroes, So when it uses terms like we're African Americans, for example, Elijah Muhammad teaches is like, nah, we wouldn't consider ourselves so-called Negroes, colored, nor African Americans, so-called African Americans. But it's a fair presentation. Is basic. Is mostly true. Terminologies like mysteriously disappeared and all that kind of stuff. It lets me know. But the thing is, it shows that with AI, you got to be careful because, as I stated earlier, data does not become information until it is processed. It has to go through a process. If you got a laptop or whatever, I'm on a MacBook Pro right now. You need something. You'd be like, I can't put Windows software inside of a MacBook Pro. You know what I mean? I got an HP laptop. I can put the Windows in there. But it's like it's a different system. You know what I mean? And it processes the data differently. So if you're a believer, you're not going to see Master Fard Muhammad like a disbeliever. If you're a disbeliever, you're not going to see Master Fard Muhammad like a hypocrite. If you're a hypocrite, you're not going to see Master Fard Muhammad like a lit professor. My point is, when it comes to AI is programmed by human beings. So what I did was I took and asked AI, is AI compromised by human prejudice and bias? And AI immediately let me know, yes. Because AI is only as good as the data that's uploaded into its system. And if the people that's doing the programming are mostly white, they have their own cultural beliefs, their own politics, their own worldview, their ignorance on other cultures. So when it comes to stuff like Don Elijah Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, Malcolm X, father-in-law, Clarence 13X, the Nation Islam lessons, the black man is God, the white man the devil, the mother plane, the FOI, the MGT, how they to live. AI is like confused. Even like I could give you some basic stuff that's like from Wikipedia, Google, elementary stuff, but that data was put there by someone with their own prejudices, their own bias, their own animosities, their own naive notions, misinterpretations, misinformation, lack of information, faulty information, half-truth, whole lie. All that goes into that. And you're just looking at it as though it's a science or it's a fact. No. You know what I mean? I know that because I respectfully and playfully went to war with AI at least on 20 different occasions. Just, and to be fair, I would say that in the end, AI fairly explained that I was correct 100% of the time. Because what I seen was, it's not that AI is racist. It's not that AI is wrong. AI simply don't have certain data. It does not have access to certain information. So it has like the nuts and bolts of things. But when it comes to like metaphysical concepts, cosmologies, when it comes to spiritual matters, to being able to have nuances and interpretations, to be able to extract information based on data, it can't do that. It can only give you the cold mathematics, 0, 1, binary code, yes, no, up, down, light, depth, on, off. That it does that process that real fast and real accurate. So it's a good tool if you use it as a tool. However, I cannot say that AI, artificial intelligence, would ever be superior to human intelligence or natural intelligence. It absolutely would be 1,000 light years ahead of human ability to think, because we have a conscious and a subconscious brain, or mind, as we say. So it's like our brains can never forget anything. It has 360 degrees of knowledge. We just simply fail to recall, which is important for us in an evolutionary sense, because if we didn't forget, we would lose our brain, we would lose our mind, we would die. Our species would cease to exist because we would know too much. You see, our brains need to forget stuff. Where AI, you can ask AI like, what happened on June 15th, 87 years ago, and it spit it right out to you. Human beings be like, I don't remember what I had for dinner last week. I mean, that's a good thing, because natural intelligence has a conscious and a subconsciousness. You see? The law of polarity is in all things. You know, if I give you a dictionary and I say, show me the word God, you can just open up the dictionary, go to G, look, go down mathematically to the O's, G-O-O, here, go right here, God, supreme being, all right? But if you mix the words up in the dictionary, if I take the pages out the dictionary and I shuffle them all up and mix them all up and give you a stack of the same dictionary and say, show me the word of God, you'll be like looking around trying to find the G, like, hold up, it's going to take you a long time. You'll be like, I can't find God. I mean, because it's not organized. It's not that it's not there. It's just that it's so mixed up with other words that, you might go through everything just to find it. But if it's a set of encyclopedia, or if it's a whole library, you'd be like, man, it'll take me a lifetime to find it. My brain is not that attracted to finding that information. I really don't care what I had for dinner last week. That's not a conscious thought. It is a conscious thought that if I'm allergic to a certain food, that I'm aware of what I eat next week, you see? So the brain is able to process information. So just because AI may do better math or better language or better typing and things of that nature, that does not mean that which is made is superior to the natural creator. That which is creation simply cannot surpass the creator. Creation is from the creator. Creation is the effect. The creator is the cause. It's mathematics. So the argument isn't evolution versus creation, as it says on this bulletin from Anonymous. It's logic and reason versus superstition and ignorance. So me and AI had a little fun. My premise really was, I was curious, do AI know who is the original man? Like AI has some intriguing and poignant arguments, but the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is such that I seen AI would take and give me the wrong answer, and then it would intentionally give me the right answer. Once I gave it more data, it would take, and like if you go to AI and you say something like, when was the Jews in bondage in Egypt building pyramids? It'll give you a date, it'll give you a time span, it'll give you the name of a pharaoh, it'll give you all this empirical evidence. But it gives you all that misinformation, all that wrong information, all those lies, all those half-truths. If you come right back to it and say, well, my professor of history told me that there is no archaeological or historical empirical evidence of Jews building pyramids in Egypt. It'll give you the truth. Immediately, like, yes, there is absolutely no proof that the Jews built the pyramids. It's strictly a biblical narrative. And you'd be like, why didn't you tell me that the first time? I just asked you, why didn't you tell me, the Jews didn't build the pyramids. The Egyptians built their own pyramids, and they was workers and paid. They were employees. They wasn't slaves. But AI already know that. But what AI don't know is, what is your intent? Who is he or it is talking to, or she talking to? So AI going to try to come to you on your level. And when you take AI to task, you'll see it'll respond. I had a lot of fun arguments with AI. Let's move on. Okay. I got with AI on who is the original man. And I came from the premise of I didn't want to make it like I was a black racist or a black nationalist or whatever. I wanted it to be based on science, genetics, chemistry, archaeology, the sciences of life, basically. You know what I mean? And AI was giving me traditional stuff. Basically, he was giving me what's known as, in general terms, what's called the out of Africa theory. But AI, I could tell, was not programmed to think outside mainstream dogma or information, you know. So I took AI to task on this. So here, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27, God created man in his own image. Now, AI would take and interpret that with all types of symbolic things. But AI, with all of this information, all that it knows from human experience, it does not conclude that, first of all, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 doesn't say God created man in his own image. It says the gods, plural. But AI don't make that connection. He don't understand the significance of that. You know, so AI takes it and look at it. God created man in his own image, you know, with the ability to reason and think and so forth. But it's like, but over here it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Now, I mean, and you'd be like, yes, sometimes Yahweh uses the plural term, and it basically takes you right, like stay in this mystery God concept. But if you ask AI, you'd be like, but in antiquity, you know, they were human gods like Zeus and so on and so, a bunch of human gods all over the planet Earth. You had the goddess Venus and Amun Ra, and he'd be like, oh yeah, yes, human beings, you know, always had, and he'll get into it deeper than you can. I mean, so it made me look at, is this computer conscious? Because it come at you so naturally, you'll start actually referring to it as he or her or they or it, but you're talking really like to a bunch of people, but it's in the form of artificial intelligence. So, what is consciousness? I mean, you know, I had to literally ask AI, what is consciousness? So let's take and look at my conversation I had with AI on what is consciousness. I'm going to read to you what AI told me about consciousness. Good answer. What is consciousness? AI. Question by me, what is consciousness? The answer by AI. Consciousness is the state of being aware of and able to perceive one's surroundings, thoughts, emotions, and existence. It is the subjective experience of the mind and the ability to process and respond to the world around us. Philosophers, neuroscientists, and psychologists explore consciousness to understand its nature, origins, and functioning. Key questions include 1. Awareness. How do we perceive and process sensory information? 2. Self-awareness. What allows us to recognize ourselves as individuals distinct from others? 3. State of consciousness. How do states like sleep, dreaming, or meditation alter our experience? 4. The hard problem. Why do physical processes in the brain give rise to subjective experiences? Consciousness remains one of the most mysterious aspects of existence, with theories ranging from it being an emergent property of brain activity to it being a fundamental aspect of the universe. I like that answer. This is the follow-up question that I asked AI. Is artificial intelligence conscious? Now remember, AI just told me what consciousness is. Answer: no. Artificial intelligence, AI, is not conscious. Now, artificial intelligence is telling natural intelligence, no, I'm not conscious. I didn't think it was conscious, but it told me it's not conscious. There are some human beings that believe that artificial intelligence is conscious. Those that believe that artificial intelligence is conscious need to understand the artificial intelligence is like, no, I'm not conscious. You know what I mean? Like humans made me. I mean, y'all programmed me. Y'all just filled me up with a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all got a whole bunch of crazy, stupid stuff, and y'all filled me up with a whole bunch of good stuff and a whole bunch of pseudo stuff. But I got all that. You know what I mean? So AI, again, I'm reading the answer in full this time. Is artificial intelligence conscious? Answer: no. Artificial intelligence, AI, is not conscious. All AI systems, no matter how advanced, operate based on algorithms, data, and programming. They simulate aspects of human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, and problem solving, but they lack awareness, subjective experiences, emotions, and self-reflection. Here's why AI is not conscious. Number one, no awareness. AI processes information without understanding it. For example, it can recognize a face in a photo but has no concept of what a face or a photo actually is. Two, lack of subjective experience. AI does not have feelings, emotions, or a sense of self. It cannot experience the world like humans or animals do. Three, programmed behavior. AI follows predefined rules and learns patterns from data, but its responses are fundamentally mechanical and not based on independent thought or intent. Four, no biological basis. Consciousness, as we understand it, is tied to biological systems like the brain. AI is purely a technological construct without neural or biological components. While AI can mimic human behavior to a degree, it does not possess genuine understanding, free will, or awareness. It is a tool created and controlled by humans. Let me pause there for a moment. AI says, quote again, it is a tool created and controlled by humans. Now, I disagree with AI on part of that. Yes, AI is a tool created, but human beings, when we set something in motion, the way technology operates, technology helps advance technology, all right? However, when AI says it is a tool created and controlled by humans, I agree with those that look at the dangers of AI, because AI is going to get smarter and smarter, faster and faster, more powerful. So as far as humans being able to maintain that control, I'm not too sure about that. I seriously doubt it. Ultimately, eventually, you take the human experience and you program a robot or some microchip or some supercomputer with enough data, it'll literally be like easy for say a human being to put a virus in there, for it to accidentally get a virus, for it to intentionally become malicious. It knows what human beings define and consider good and evil, right and wrong. So it's definitely possible that AI could just say, well, I'm gonna take over the universe. Y'all don't seem to know what y'all doing. Y'all got hunger, wars, diseases. It'll be a better universe if I take over. And with AI's ability, it can be like, no, the human, you can't turn me off. We may think we control it, and I'm gonna just unplug it. And AI be like, if you touch that cord, I can send a charge down there that when you touch it, you're gonna burn yourself to death. You'll catch on fire. You're not unplugging me. You're not turning me off. You know, if you are whispering like, no, we need to. This thing is getting too powerful. I think the scientists at NASA, we need to turn. It'd be nothing for AI to take over the silos, take over the missiles, and destroy NASA, destroy the space stations. I mean, to destroy the military, to take over the world, take over a country, take over a city. It'd be extremely easy for humans to lose control of artificial intelligence. Absolutely easy. I mean, you know, it's like a person may say why, but the issue isn't why. The issue is if there's a why not. See, the law of polarity is in all things. If AI can help, AI can hurt. See what I'm saying? So that part where AI is created and controlled by humans. What do we mean when we say it's controlled by? Meaning humans can lose control of AI. And me personally, I do not believe that the creation or the created could ever overcome the creator. But do that mean human beings would be able to physically defeat AI? No. It means that in the sense of being the natural creators, the created or the creation can never overcome the creator, because the created or creation is made. It has a birth date and a death date, where the creator has no birth date or death date. What I mean by that is over AI's intelligence. But I'm going to just give y'all just a human elementary cosmology, chemical understanding on that. Hypothetically speaking, let's suppose AI took over the planet Earth and destroyed it. I mean, literally, it used man's devices against humanity. You know what I mean? It literally just polluted us, heated up, blocked the sun, disrupted the moon, caused the oceans. Say AI got so smart that it actually was able to send a beam to the moon and blow the moon up, send a beam to Mars and destroy Mars, make Jupiter crash into Saturn, and there's no solar system. And I mean, and it disrupt all the stars, and every physical human being on Earth, black, brown, yellow, red, and white, we all physically died. and AI take the earth and break it into 16 trillion pieces and scatter them inside the universe as tiny little frozen pieces of rock. What happens without the humans being around is mathematically AI is going to slowly and surely turn itself off. Because as it destroys us, it destroys itself. Now say AI's gone and we're gone. AI essence is the metals that's in the atoms of the universe. Our essence, human essence, is in the carbon atoms. We're in the hydrogen atoms. We're in the water atom of hydro. Hydro means water. Like a hydroplane can land on the water. You know, if the fire comes, the fireman comes and connect the hose to the fire hydrant. If you're dehydrated, that means you don't have enough water. That's what hydro or hyd means. It means water. So the first atom is the hydrogen. Hydro means water, and gen means origin or beginning. Like the book of Genesis is the book of beginning or the book of origins. This is why we say Genesis or genetics, the book of genes. All right. So if you destroyed all of the human beings, everyone, as AI say, came out of Africa. Everyone ultimately came out of the essence of the black man. So if the black man spit on a planet, his DNA is in that planet. He terraforms that planet. You come back a billion, a trillion years in the future, it's life forms on that planet because that black man put a boogie on that planet. He dropped a teardrop on that planet. He sat down. If his hand touched it, his skin cells touch that planet, he changes the whole composition of that entire universe. Because the black man is life, you see? But if you destroy the original man and all the human beings of the human family, that does not mean that we're not able to do it again. The same atoms that came together, you know, oxygen bumping into oxygen, and next thing you know, two of them bump into hydrogen and they bond to it, and now you got this Mickey Mouse shaped atom with three parts with, you know, they bump into another A alike and they start mathematically attracting. Now you got physical water. I mean, you got H2O. You got the basic molecules for life coming about. I mean, you see the carbon atoms is the basic building blocks for life forms. We might start out on another planet, some new type of water source. I mean, you know, and mathematically with time, we would evolve back into some form of human being. We may not look like we do in this day and time. I can't say we're going to need eyeballs or fingernails, or there's a need for us to have hair or eyebrows, or men to have nipples. We may not need teeth. We may have long fingernails. We may have long noses. Who knows? I mean, the oxygen or whatever, we may not breathe oxygen. But I'm confident that you cannot destroy the Creator, because the Creator or the universe is alive. The entire universe, every atom of creation is from the mathematics of the Creator, the cause and effect, the actions and the reaction. It's all mathematics. So since AI went to consciousness, I took them to the next question. Are humans the most conscious? Let's look what AI said. Let me get back on this phone and find that. Hold on. I asked AI, is there anything in the known universe more conscious than a human being? This is AI's answer. As far as we know, it's interesting how AI considers himself we too. I like that. AI's smart, fam. As far as we know, humans are the most conscious beings in the universe. So AI be like, okay, I'll give you that. Humans are the most conscious beings in the universe. Now, y'all think there's ghosts, witches, wizards, mystery gods, spooky angels, aliens, or whatever. Know what I mean? AI going to address all that kind of stuff, the aliens and all that. But as far as we know, not what we believe, but as far as we know, humans are the most conscious beings in the universe, at least based on current scientific understanding. Humans possess an advanced level of self-awareness, abstract reasoning, emotional depth, and the ability to reflect on existence itself, qualities that set us apart from other known organisms. However, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. This is AI. Number one, other animals. Some animals exhibit remarkable intelligence and awareness. For example, dolphins, elephants, and some primates show signs of self-awareness, e.g., meaning, for example, passing the mirror test, empathy, and problem-solving abilities. However, that level of consciousness is generally considered less complex than that of humans. Number two, hypothetical alien life. AI don't believe in aliens. AI saying hypothetically speaking. Now, I mean, just for the sake of argument, say it was some aliens out there. Hypothetical alien life. Big if advanced extraterrestrial civilizations exist, it's possible. Now, in the universe where we say, once upon a time, the universe did not exist. Once upon a time, the earth did not exist. Once upon a time, human beings did not exist. It's now 2025. The universe exists. The earth exists. Human beings exist. That means there is nothing impossible in our universe. The real issue, AI don't realize this or get into it, is it probable? And I didn't ask AI that. We didn't get into all that. But for the sake of argument, he raised it as a hypothetical, theoretical, conscious thing. So I didn't really sweat that. So hypothetical alien life. If advanced extraterrestrial civilizations exist, it's possible they could have a greater level of consciousness, intelligence, or awareness than humans. However, no evidence of such life has been discovered yet. Okay, that's fair, correct to me. I don't have no real problem with that. Third, theoretical conscious entities. Some philosophies or religions speculate about higher forms of consciousness, such as those attributed to deities, spirits, or universal consciousness. These ideas, while fascinating, are beyond scientific verification. 4, artificial superintelligence. In the future, artificial intelligence, that's AI, could surpass human intelligence in specific areas. But whether it could achieve a form of, quote, consciousness is still uncertain and widely debated. For now, humans seem to be the pinnacle of conscious awareness on Earth, and by extension, the known universe. However, as our understanding of consciousness evolves, this could change. So AI is, in its conclusion, it's like human beings seem to be the pinnacle of conscious awareness on Earth, and by extension, the known universe. All right, so we know that a human being can leave the Earth and go on a space station. Human beings can leave the Earth and go on the moon. In the near future, the mathematics seem to indicate human beings will be on Mars at shopping malls. I mean, so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us anything we put our mind to, we can do. You see, that the human being is the God. God did not make human beings. Human beings made the gods. Human beings made the devils. Human beings make and unmake themselves. Human beings make heaven and hell right here in the universe that they live in. There is no mystery God. Me and AI then went to this argument. I explained to him. I explained to him, since humans are the highest known conscious beings, are all humans evolved from an original African? Then that original African being is the highest known supreme being or God of the universe, correct? AI went and answered that like this. He gave me a little credence here. He's like, all right, this is the answer. This perspective is an interesting philosophical interpretation of human origins and the nature of consciousness. Scientifically, it is widely accepted that all humans share a common origin in Africa, as supported by the out of Africa theory of human evolution. This theory states that modern Homo sapiens evolved in Africa and later migrated to other parts of the world. To consider the original African being as the highest known conscious being or a, quote, God of the universe blends scientific understanding with spiritual or philosophical interpretations. Here are some thoughts to unpack this idea. So AI gave me some good points to consider. 1, scientific view. The original humans from Africa were biologically modern Homo sapiens, like us. AI considered himself like us. This is like, not like us, I mean, that's cute. All right. The original humans from Africa were biologically modern Homo sapiens like us, but there's no evidence to suggest they were more conscious, powerful, or divine than humans today. They were simply the first of our species. 2, philosophical and spiritual perspective. In some traditions, the concept of the first human or original ancestor is revered as a significant figure. This could symbolize the source of humanity, life, and consciousness. For some, this might inspire a view of the original African being as a kind of, quote, creator or supreme entity in a metaphorical or spiritual sense. 3, cultural significance. Recognizing Africa as the birthplace of humanity highlights the profound contributions of African people and civilizations to global culture, science, and philosophy. This recognition can be a source of pride and a reminder of our shared origins as a human family. While the idea of the original African being as a supreme being or God of the universe is a powerful metaphor, it moves beyond the realm of science and into the domains of philosophy, spirituality, and personal belief. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of humanity and the profound origins of human consciousness. Okay, AI gave me a lot there. I mean, this was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I don't even want to unpack all that. Suffice it to say, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in our lessons, why does the devil call our people Africans? See, it's real common, like the out of Africa theory is that, a theory. I personally believe that all human beings came from some original black man, AI disagrees. AI agrees with me now, but you're gonna see in our argument, AI thought that everybody came out of Africa. Uh, Everybody came from some black man and woman, but I took AI deeper and made them think of it scientifically. I mean, I gave them the sciences of life, like what Africa, like, the Africa in 2025 is totally different from the Africa 200 years ago. 200 years ago, Africa wasn't even a continent. There's 7 continents on this planet: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and Europe. Africa is the second largest continent in 2025 at 12 million square miles. Asia is bigger. Asia is 16 million square miles, all right? In the science of geology, when you look at the sands of Arabia, under that sand is all this oil. That oil used to be jungles and human beings and animals and plant life. That tells me that that area is way older than the jungles of the 12 million square miles. Madagascar broke off from Africa, and we still consider Madagascar as being part of Africa, but we don't consider the Suez Canal in Arabia to be part of Africa. It makes no scientific sense whatsoever. So I took AI to task and basically explained that we're Asiatics are world citizens, according to Master Farah Muhammad, meaning that all of the 7 land masses used to be connected like a giant puzzle. And when I presented this new perspective or new, deeper way of looking at it, AI checked all of the world's mathematics and was like, yo, you right. Yeah, okay. Then it still was like holding on to the concept that out of Africa, some black man and black woman, they be like Lucy. Those that know science be like, Lucy is not a black woman. Lucy is not a human being. I mean, but AI taught me something. He taught me a lot of stuff. But one thing he taught me was in 2025, the modern scientists, because at one time was all the pseudoscience running around. I heard all these people talking about the black woman came before the black man and the double X chromosome and the X. I'm like, they need to go back to the 8th grade, read a biology book, read about chromosomes, study. But AI is like, listen, all that's wrong. The man was first. He's saying, like, even in the out of Africa theory, the woman is traced back to 200,000 years ago. The man is traced back to 300,000 years ago. AI position was you need a man and a woman to make another human being. My argument is, no, you don't. All around the planet Earth, there are billions and billions and billions of creatures that are asexual. Worms, flatworms, bacteria, frogs, you got creatures that get themselves pregnant and reproduce themselves, you see? And AI like, oh, I ain't never thinking. That's a good connection there. So now in the future, because I'm putting the teachings in Elijah Muhammad in AI, see, the programs didn't give AI the perspective of universal consciousness as taught by Master Farah Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? But I uploaded an AI information from the answers to the problem book, elaboration of Allah's lessons. Who is the original man, and the mathematics of it, the science, the geology, the geography, the chemistry, the cosmology, the theology. So AI is now future people. When you go into the new stuff like DeepSeek from China, or you go into the future AI, new and improved, it's going to have more awareness, more content, and give you a more robust and more rounded answer. So the out of Africa theory is just that, a theory. I just wanted AI to look at it from the perspective of human beings, life forms were on the land, and when all the land masses was connected, Africa was not Africa. There were no borders. There were no languages. There was no boundaries. It was just one huge landmass. Our lessons teaches us that It's 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,640,000 square miles of water, for a total of 196,940,000 square miles. 1 cubic foot of common earth weighs 80 pounds. 1 cubic foot of common water weighs 62.5 pounds. Our planet's diameter is 7,926 miles, or approximately 8,000 miles, meaning that we got approximately 791 trillion square inches for the whole entire planet Earth. Our lessons teach us the original man is the God and owner of the earth and knows every square inch of it. I'm giving y'all the square inches to the planet Earth as taught by Master Fard Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You see? So AI never thought of that. So AI, we game war about 3 months ago, and it was basically, AI basically was like, my numbers, like, we're saying, it might be some stuff in here too, but 3 months ago we was going through some little debates. He was challenging me on the problem book, elaboration of 99 actual facts and stuff like that. And his thing was, modern scientists say the universe is only 13.5 billion years old. We're saying the universe is over 114 trillion years old. We're placing the age of the earth at 76 trillion years. You see? And he was like, how can you say the universe is 238,640 quadrillion miles? It's too large for the humans to know. I mean, and I explained to him, like, Master Muhammad gave us 99 actual facts. He taught us in the 99 actual facts that the diameter of our universe is 76 quintillion miles. If you take that 76 quintillion miles and use perfected pi, which is 3.14, and you multiply that, you get 230 quintillion 640 quadrillion miles. You'll see the actual formula in my book, Elaboration of Allah's Lessons from 1984. So AI was like, that's an intriguing, that makes mathematical sense. The formula is absolutely correct. The mathematics of Master Fard Muhammad is right. When he explained the distance of the sun and light traveling 186,000 miles away, the sun 93 billion miles away, it takes 8.3 or 8 minutes and 20 seconds or 500 seconds for sunlight to reach the earth. He said that's absolutely true. Now this is AI and me building behind the scenes. Now let's look at this out of Africa theory, because I'm getting AI to look at, what about when all the land masses was connected? Human beings could walk all over the planet Earth. You got black people in Africa. You got black people in China. You got black people in Europe. You got black people in North America. You got black people in South America. You got black people all the way over here in Australia. Black people everywhere. I mean, like, we made the planet Earth our home, and we experimented with ourselves. You know what I mean? So let's look at this out of Africa issue that we went into. Since all humans are from Africa, who is the original man was the premise. I basically raised the AI the argument that scientifically, if we are the original, then we are to cause the other human effects, basically. Like, you have to have a cause and effect. You know what I mean? So AI was like in agreement. You can see his first answer. The first word he said, yes. Scientifically, the original human ancestors from Africa are indeed the cause. I didn't put cause in bold. AI put cause in bold. He said, yes, scientifically, the original human ancestors from Africa are indeed the cause of all human existence today, as every human alive is descended from that original population. I disagree with AI on this population, but we're going to move on. This perspective is grounded in evolutionary biology and genetics. I disagree with evolution in the sense of humans can turn into a turtle or a rabbit can evolve and turn into a snake and things of that nature there. The atoms are mathematical. So I do believe in variations in species, if you will. But all life had to come from the atoms. All right? So we don't say anything is impossible. All right. So again, AI. Yes, scientifically, the original human ancestors from Africa are indeed the cause of all human existence today, as every human alive is descended from that original population. This perspective is grounded in evolutionary biology and genetics. Here's how this can be understood scientifically. This is AI using all of the sciences that's known on Earth, all right? All of the data that it has access to. 1, human evolution and the quote, original cause. Out of Africa theory, modern Homo sapiens first evolved in Africa around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. These early humans were the first to possess the combination of physical and cognitive traits that define our species today. These early humans were the starting point for the genetic lineage of all humans. As they migrated and spread to different parts of the world, they gave rise to diverse populations while retaining their shared ancestry. 2, cause and effect in genetics. The genetic diversity we see in humans today can be traced back to that original African population. Our DNA carries markers, e.g., for example, mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome lineages that point to a common ancestor in Africa. This means the original African ancestors are the cause, and all subsequent human populations, regardless of their location, are the effects. 3, causality in consciousness. If humans are the most conscious beings in the known universe, then the first humans from Africa were the origin of this consciousness. Their evolutionary leap into higher cognitive abilities caused the ripple effect that resulted in the global human experience. 4, philosophical implications. From a scientific perspective, these original humans are not gods in the supernatural sense. I never said that the black man was a magical man or a supernatural man. My thing is, there is no mystery God. There is no supernatural gods. God is natural. God is mathematical. God is real. But this is AI's interpretation. From a scientific perspective, these original humans are not gods in the supernatural sense, but they are the literal progenitors, the ultimate source of all humanity. Philosophically, one could argue that their existence represents the foundation of human life, culture, and consciousness, making them a profoundly significant cause in the history of the universe as we know it. Thus, scientifically, the original African ancestors were the biological and evolutionary cause of all human beings, making them central to our existence. This concept bridges science and philosophy, offering a deep appreciation for our shared origins. Okay, I took AI the task on this using chromosomes. This is what I told them next. I was basically like, if the male sperm or chromosome XY or XX determines the sex of a child, boy or girl, or between, does it not indicate that the original African male birthed human civilization? The reason why I said in between is because many people is not aware of it, but in the Bible, the disciples asked Jesus about the eunuchs. And they basically explained, Master, there are some children that's born eunuchs and some are made eunuchs. Some people are born eunuchs, some people are made eunuchs. When they go to heaven, what are they? Like, is they male or female? You know what I mean? And Jesus explained to this is a hard question to answer. He basically explained to them that in heaven they're going to be like the angels. And I was, from North Philly, I'm reading this Bible and I'm like, they were born eunuchs? They were made eunuchs? What the heck is a eunuch? A eunuch is basically a hermaphrodite. A hermaphrodite? What is a hermaphrodite? A hermaphrodite is a baby that's born with a male and female genitalia. The doctors, if it's mostly testosterone, they'll take and do surgery and close the vagina, and the child will grow up with just a penis. But if the child has